because his achievements are many. This gentleman, and he is the epitome of the word gentleman, has been attending Sunnybank Toastmasters since meeting number 29, March 73. In 1976, and note the date, 3 years after he joined, he became the first Toastmaster from outside North America to compete in the World Championship of Public Speaking in New Orleans. He's won 3 different contest categories at district. In 1981 to 1982, he was district governor. In 1983, he became a distinguished Toastmaster. He's been club president and Toastmaster of the Year so many times that he's banned from ever being nominated again. And in other words, he's not too shabby a speaker. I'm sure you all know to whom I'm referring, and tonight we are in for a real treat with his a very appropriately named speech, Plum Pudding. Please, a big welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Colin McFarlane.
Not comfortable there, they might like to turn their seat right around before we start. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Madam Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, throughout all of recorded time, there have only ever been, in my very humble opinion, 3 people who have had the ability to express themselves so simply, so beautifully, so dramatically, so powerfully, that they could change the whole course of human history. Winston Churchill, Tanya Rooney, and my mother. But tonight, I want you to forget about Winston Churchill. Tonight, I want you to try to forget about Tanya Rooney. But nobody could forget my mother. So tonight, I want you to hear one example of my mother's simple, beautiful, dramatic, powerful speech. A simple little speech of only 7 words that she delivered once a year, every year, on Christmas Day. Yet, a speech that was always just as devastating in its impact as any speech of Winston Churchill's, or Tanya Rooney's, ever could have been. Let me take you back. In the good old days, our family lived in a house that was owned by my grandfather. My dad was a baker, and he was constantly travelling all around the state, seeking work, but leaving Mum at home with the 10 kids. Consequently, there was quite a lot that we did without. But one thing we never ever did without was knowing the joy of Christmas. The joy of giving, the joy of receiving, the joy of simply rejoicing just because it was Christmas. But now, when I look back at Christmas, now that I'm so much older and so much wiser, when I think of Christmas, what I think it really means to me was plum pudding. Yes, plum pudding. And by plum pudding, I don't mean something you got out of a tin can or out of a plastic bucket off the supermarket shelf. I mean plum pudding. It was something that people actually made. Families made themselves together. And how we made it We waited for months on end, knowing it was almost time. Each one of us got to drop in some of the ingredients. A cup of sugar here, a sprinkling of flour there, a sprinkling of sultanas in the centre. Each one of us got to drop in 2 or 3 threepences. Remember those? And in a good year, maybe even a sixpence. And then each one of us got to stir it again and again and again and again, and finally to lick the bowl. The lucky ones even got to lick it a second time. And woe betide little Colin if he forgot to use a different finger, because one would never put a licked finger back into a bowl, would one? But now it's Christmas Day, Christmas dinner, and that means plum pudding. The magic moment has arrived. Out of the boiler comes the pudding, snip goes the string holding the top there, back go the folds of that calico cloth, you know, that dirty monstrosity that hung on the nail above the copper and underneath the tank stand, waiting a whole year to be boiled mercilessly over and over and over and over again for its one brief but brilliant moment of triumph. And suddenly, here it is, plum pudding, a magnificent spectacle. Enough for 12 people, and seconds all around. And as that first fatal incision is made, the whole room fills with an aroma straight from heaven. And as the pieces are placed onto their individual little plates, and as that hot golden creamy custard cascades over the rich dark golden browns of that now desecrated masterpiece, little eyes light up, mouths drool, and then silence, for everyone knows it's time. Time for Mum's once a year, every year, simple little 7-worded Christmas Day speech. Whoever gets the most threepences washes up. And once more, silence. Have you, any of you here, ever tried to chew plum pudding with 2 or 3 threepences jammed underneath your tongue or hidden behind your teeth? Madam Toastmaster, when I look back now at Christmas and remember Christmas, plum pudding, my mother, and Sybil's speech, I can only agree with the poet John Keats when he wrote, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never